The sky above Earth turned deep blue without warning. Birds stopped flying. People stood still. Then a voice echoed across the planet, in every language at once. Your time is over. Play by our rules or disappear. Massive alien ships shaped like dark thrones floated above every major city. They called themselves the Zorith, rulers of the galactic trial. Earth was now part of their deadly game. Their rules were simple. Humans were not allowed to fight. No weapons. No rebellion. Only total obedience. Anyone who broke the rules was erased in seconds. No warning. No mercy. Most of the world fell into silence and fear. Governments collapsed. People obeyed, hoping to survive. But far in the icy lands of Iceland, one scientist refused to follow. Dr. Elia Tran, hidden inside an old research lab, stared at the alien message glowing on her screen. She saw something strange in the code, a small glitch, a weakness. She turned to her team and whispered, "They may have written the rules, but we're going to rewrite the end." And so, in the darkest hour, a spark of resistance was born. Deep underground in Iceland, Dr. Elia Tran and her small team worked in silence. The alien message still glowed on their screens. But Ilya wasn't looking at the words. She was reading the code behind the message. The Zorith had used a strange quantum language. It was too advanced for most humans, but not for her. She found something unusual, a loop, a small line of repeating symbols. It looked like a mistake. Or maybe a loophole. "If we change this pattern," Ilya said, pointing at the screen, "we can bend their rules without breaking them." The team gasped. Bending the rules was risky. If the Zorith noticed, they would destroy the lab, and everyone inside it. Still, they began to test, carefully, quietly. Meanwhile, around the world, people lived in fear. Cities were silent. Schools closed. Speaking against the Zorith was a crime. Families turned on each other. Even children were taught to report disobedience. But one night, far away in Kenya, a little girl followed a soft humming sound to her backyard. There, under the soil, something was glowing. It wasn't alien. It was human technology, buried and forgotten. And it had just turned on. Whispers began to spread across the world, quiet voices in the dark. People spoke of a secret group called the Rewrote, a team working to change the alien rules from within. In a remote jungle, a Zorith patrol drone fell from the sky. It didn't explode. It didn't fight back. It simply shut down. The humans who saw it didn't know how or why, but hope returned to their eyes for the first time in months. Back in the Icelandic lab, Dr. Ilya's team celebrated a small success. They had rewritten a command, just one line of alien code, and made a Zorith drone forget its mission. It was a sign. The code could be changed. But victory came with danger. The Zorith sent a new enforcer to Earth, Commander Vexel. He wasn't like the others. He was fast, silent, and always watching. His body shifted like smoke and light. His mission was clear: find the Rewrite, end them. Vexel read the reports with growing concern. Humans, despite their limits, were learning quickly. Too quickly. And that's what scared him the most. Because the last time a species learned this fast, the Zorith lost a planet. The Rewrite team had done the impossible. They changed one of the Zorith's sacred rules. No human shall suffer without choice. It was a small rewrite, but its effect was massive. A bomb placed by the Zorith in a crowded train station vanished moments before it exploded. Cameras showed nothing, just the sound of silence and people still alive. News spread fast. For the first time, humans saw that the Zorith weren't gods. They could be outsmarted. People began to resist in quiet ways. They painted strange symbols on walls. They whispered the name Thalia like a prayer. But the Zorith responded with fire. They erased a city from the map. Over 5 million people gone in seconds. No warning. No message. Just pure destruction. The world split in two. Some said it was madness to fight. Obey and survive, they said. Others shouted, rewrite or die free. Dr. Ilya stood at a breaking point. The next rule could protect millions, but the Zorith were watching. Too many rewrites could expose them. Still, she stared at the code and said softly, "We didn't come this far to obey monsters." And with one keystroke, she began the next rewrite. One by one, the Zorith systems started to break. Lights on their ships flickered. Surveillance drones crashed midair. Communication towers stopped sending orders. Something was wrong, and it was spreading fast. The rewrites were working. In Brazil, a group of teenagers used street music to send hidden commands through sound. In India, children drew pictures that matched the alien code, art becoming language. In Canada, a blind man sang a strange melody. The notes triggered a chain reaction in a passing Zorith ship, forcing it to land. The Zorith were confused. They couldn't understand how humans, so primitive in their eyes, were rewriting rules meant to control galaxies. Commander Vexel stood in a dark chamber, watching the system collapse. He whispered, "They are not supposed to be this creative, this fast." And then the final warning came from the Zorith High Core. If humanity continues to rewrite, we will erase Earth entirely. The threat was clear. The next rewrite could be Earth's last, or its greatest victory. But even in the face of death, humans didn't stop. Because they had finally learned something the Zorith never understood. Imagination is more dangerous than any weapon. The world held its breath. The Zorith's final warning echoed in every city. Stop the rewrites, or Earth will be erased. But Dr. Ilya Tran wasn't afraid. She had spent months studying the alien code, learning its rhythm, its weakness. Now she had written one last command, a rewrite that could end the entire game. But it came with a price. To activate it, someone had to connect their mind to the Zorith core, a living supercomputer deep inside the main mothership. No one who entered the core had ever returned. Ilya made her choice. With the help of the rewrite team, she hacked into the alien system and uploaded her mind. Her body collapsed, but her mind kept going, diving into the alien network. She saw their history, their wars, their fears. She felt the weight of every rule they forced on other worlds. And then, she rewrote one final line. No species shall rule another, ever again. The core pulsed. The rules broke apart. The Zorith screamed in confusion. And then, silence. The ships vanished. The sky cleared. The game was over. But Ilya was gone. Her mind now lived in the code she had changed. The sky was clear for the first time in months. No ships, no threats, no alien voice. Earth was quiet. But it wasn't the silence of fear. It was the silence of freedom. Across the world, people stepped outside and looked up. They expected something, maybe another warning, maybe another attack. Instead, they heard a soft, familiar voice in the air. It was Dr. Ilya Tran. Her voice played in every language, gentle and strong. "You're free now. But remember, freedom isn't a gift. It's a choice you protect together." No one knew where the signal came from. Some said she was still alive, living inside the code. Others believed she had become part of the universe itself. In schools, children now studied the rewrite as history. In cities, statues of Ilya rose where alien machines once stood. But far beyond Earth, in the deep shadows of the stars, something stirred. A distant watcher had seen everything. It didn't speak. It didn't move. But it was listening. And this time, it knew humans didn't just survive. They rewrote the end. Now the galaxy would have to follow their rules,